Hey everyone, we are so excited that you are giving us a little piece of your night. I know it's a busy season, and I'm telling you, it was a mad dash to get both my boys in bed because my husband is not home tonight. So, all you solo parents, I understand. But my name is April Resch. I'm a Diamond Ambassador, and I actually have my sister on with me as well. You'll get to hear from her here in a little bit, but a little bit about me. I am a military spouse. I'm a mama to two boys. We have a little princess on the way as well. She'll be joining us next year, which we're super excited about. We currently live in Florida, and I'm a lover of decaf espresso, bike riding, and just being with my family. So my story, y'all, began, and no one would have guessed 4 years ago. I cannot believe I've been with Plexus 4 years now, that I needed Plexus products, y'all, and I needed the opportunity. But here's the thing, y'all. I looked happy. I loved being a mom. My life looked put together, and I thrived in my career as a speech therapist. But the truth, y'all, I was silently struggling, especially with my mental health. After my first son was born, actually, he just had his 7th birthday. It's crazy. I got diagnosed with crazy mood swings. Y'all can read between the lines, right? Lots of crying, lots of ups and downs, and got put on medication. I also had zero energy for my son. When I'd get home from work, y'all, I was just done. I didn't want to cook a meal. I didn't want to get on the floor and play with him. And that to me was heartbreaking because I always aspired to be that mom that put her children first, right? I also was a slave to sugar. Okay. I'm talking crazy sugar cravings, bowl of ice cream before bed, chocolate throughout the day, Starbucks stop at lunch, right? Again, I thought this was just all normal. Lifestyle wise, you guys, we were in crazy debt. I'm telling you, this stressed my husband out. We had just put me through graduate school, and guess what? Those were loans that we had to pay back. We had car loans, we had a little bit of credit card debt. Can anyone relate to that? So we were living in debt. We were living paycheck to paycheck. And y'all, being a speech therapist was wonderful. I loved the income. I loved having something of my own. But honestly, I had so much mama guilt. Y'all, when I would pick up my sweet son, he would say, Mama, I did this at Miss Karen's house today. And I would look and I'd paint that smile on my face and say, oh my goodness, that's so much fun. But really inside, you guys, my heart was breaking because I wanted to be that one to be with him. I wanted to be the one to experience all those things with my son. So I desperately didn't want to keep missing out on those special moments. I wanted to be that present mom. I wanted to be that person who could experience life with her kids. And y'all, I didn't want to just be barely surviving. I wanted to be fully thriving. So that brings me to Plexus. I said yes to Plexus, y'all, 4 years ago, like I said. Here's how I talked my husband into it. If anyone knows Dave Ramsey, he is the nerd, okay? And I'm the free spirit. And so I knew if I told him, hey, babe, I'm thinking about trying these new products, but there's a 60-day money back guarantee. I can do this risk-free, okay? Well, yes, I got his buy-in. He was like, okay, that's fine. But y'all, I knew I needed these products, okay? So got his buy-in, signed up for the products. The products worked, y'all, okay? People started to notice and everyone needed them. That's what I found out through research. I was like, oh my gosh, gut health is tied to so many different things. Inflammation is tied to so many different things. Blood sugar balance tied to so many different things. And here's the other thing I was loving about the products is all ages needed the products. Females and males needed the products, kids needed the products, elderly people needed the products, and they were consumable, y'all. So I kept sharing. Now, I didn't have a ton of extra time, y'all. I did a lot of solo parenting with my husband's job. I was working full-time hours, and so I would just work in the nooks and crannies of my day. So because of Plexus, y'all, I do work from home now fully. I make a 6-figure income. We are debt free except for our home. So that, oh my gosh, has been such a relief to both me and my husband, but especially that nerd, right? I could see his relief. And because of that, you guys, now we can say yes to college savings and car savings and IRAs and emergency savings, things we would have never guessed we would be able to put extra money aside for. We also have our boys in top private Christian schools in the area. You guys, another thing my mama heart longed for is starting my boys with that solid foundation early. And again, I didn't know how we would ever be able to afford that living paycheck to paycheck. Also, one of the biggest reasons I love working from home is being able to say yes to my boys, having that time with them, being that person who picks them up and drops them off in that dang carpool line, right? Being able to travel with our family more. We are gearing up to a trip to Disney next month where we'll get to be yes parents and say yes to our boys. When it comes to military life, y'all, it's convenient to work from home. I'm talking no more applications, no more interview process, no more new caseload once again. So that has just been a blessing that it travels with us wherever we go. And I'm thinking about this pregnancy, y'all. I don't have to worry about, do I have enough PTO saved up? How am I going to get my clients seen? Are we going to be able to handle this without me taking pay? Like, what is this going to look like, right? We don't have to worry about that anymore. So I feel fantastic, y'all. I feel better in my 30s than I did in my 20s. I've lost some very stubborn weight, weaned off of that medication that I desperately did not want to be on long term. I sleep like a baby, no longer crave that crazy sugar. And y'all, this pregnancy, these products have done so, so much for me. This is my second pregnancy on the products, and I'm telling you, night and day, black and white from my first pregnancy. So before Abby shares her story, I do want you to think about how could your life look different if you took a closer look at everything Plexus has to offer you. You just never know. This really could change your life forever, like it has changed my life and my family's life, and so many others. So with that, Abby, I am going to pass it over to you.
All right. Thanks, April. That was so great. I love hearing your story. I feel like each time we do this, we offer a little bit different side of our story. So it's neat. All right. So I'm Abby, April's older sister and mom of 3. We have an 8, a 6, and a 2-year-old. I'm an Enneagram 6 for those familiar with that. I'm an introvert. We are homeschooling family now. This is our 2nd year with that, which has been totally new for us. And we live in Madison, Wisconsin. So I'm actually a retired music teacher, and I did that prior to Plexus for 9 years. A little about me, I love, love, love finding God in nature. I am passionate about healthy eating, healthy living, and I really enjoy reading. When I set aside time, reading, growing, learning, all the things, and I've definitely been able to fill that cup here with Plexus. So like April, I thought I was healthy enough prior to Plexus. I did Zumba a few times a week. I ate clean, but I could not get away from the sugar. And I actually thought it was like this sweet tooth, right? Like a hereditary thing, like it's just the family line, right? But what I didn't know was that my gut was so overgrown with candida yeast that that's what it was literally feeding on. So I'm in this vicious cycle, right? So I grabbed for chocolate chip cookies or chocolate chips, whatever I could get my hands on in the teacher's lounge to just get me through my day. I would get shaky before a lot of the meals. I didn't know that had to do with blood sugar balance. I would get hangry. I definitely needed naps each day. Brian would come home from work, my husband, and I'd be on the couch and be like, can you take these kids? Like I was just so exhausted. And I just never felt like I had enough energy or motivation to get all the things I needed to get done around the house. So, everything changed when April purchased my first box for me. She basically said, "You're doing this with me." So I won't complain about that. But I was skeptical. However, when your blood sugars are balanced each day, when you're feeding your gut, fueling your gut with good things, and you're getting rid of that sneaky inflammation in your system, you're going to find you just feel so much better. And that's my story. So a few weeks into my journey, I was consistent on my triplex products. I was drinking my water. I was trying to keep a positive mindset, even though I was really skeptical. I noticed that one night before bed, I went over to the freezer to get the ice cream, and I was like, this is weird. I'm not craving it. And so that was the start of breaking a very horrible habit. And then the husband broke that habit too. So it's been a lot of positive changes in our family. But I just noticed I wasn't craving that sugar anymore. I wasn't needing that nap every day. I was sleeping better through the night. I noticed my face slimmed down from the inflammation leaving my body. I just felt happier and healthier and more in control of my health. And that freedom from the sugar addiction was everything. So I strictly started Plexus just for the products. But what I quickly learned was that it's so much more than just a pink drink and some capsules. It really, you guys, is an agent for change. It was a tool that helped me get my life back. And it has brought so much freedom for myself and for my family and so many women on my team and in my life. So when April told me that I could start making a little bit of income here, my ears perked up right away. She said that when I joined, I had a referral link that I could use to help other people get started. And she said, hey, you can make this extra income. You can do it on the side around your busy schedule. You can do it from home, from your phone. I'm an introvert. So I'm like, I can do it on my phone. Sweet. Yes, sign me up. So I started sharing right away when my journey started, because how could I not? I was loving this pink drink. I was feeling better. There's so many people around me who were not feeling good. And so I started sharing. And with being an Enneagram 6, if you know anything about that, my main concern is peace and safety and security. Those things are really, really important to me. So the idea of having this extra stream of income coming in that I could use to bless my family, pay off some extra debt, always make sure that we had more than less, that was like just huge for me. So, whatever you guys might be facing, whether it's a little bit of extra debt to maybe it's a ton of extra debt like April was in, this can be an amazing solution for you too. So I didn't start because I wanted these big extravagant things. I just wanted to make a little bit of extra income. And so first I was able to pay off some credit card debt. And then I was covering like the phone bill and the car bill, and that was really fun. And then these Plexus emails kept coming in saying, you've been paid. And I'm like, oh my gosh, how am I getting paid? This is so much fun. All I'm doing is sharing what has helped me. And so then the smaller bills became bigger bills. It was so cool because so often when we would have like a random car payment come up or some issue with something in our home, I would get an email literally that day, and the cost would be right on for what we needed to cover that unexpected expense. I'm not even lying, you guys. Like, I just remember all the tears because that's so scary to me, the unexpected expenses that pop up with life. And so I was able to cover those. And then eventually I was able to leave my job. So I loved teaching, but one season my heart just shifted and I no longer wanted to be at the schools. I wanted to be home with my kids. I wanted to be in control of my time. I wanted to be the housewife. I wanted to be involved. I wanted to take my son to kindergarten. And so Plexus allowed us that freedom to do that. I didn't want to have to punch the time clock and, do the 9-to-5 job anymore. Time freedom is something I never knew of. I never knew that was an option. You go to school, you go to college, you do a job, right? You basically are living to work to pay the bills. But what I've found, you guys, is that true time freedom is the best thing you'll ever experience. And now I would never go back because our life looks so, so different now. Instead of our days being rush and pressure and traffic on the belt line and stress and punching the time clock and racing home to just get my kids to bed, our life is so much more peaceful now. And it's meaningful and it's slowing down to enjoy life because you only have one life, right? And it's full of joy and meaning. And so it's just been the most life-changing stuff for us, thing for us. And then all of a sudden, my husband lost his job of 17 years. So this was 2 years into my business here with Plexus, 2 years into my journey. And little did we know that that actually would be a blessing in disguise, because now here we are about 2.5 years later. He is still home. He is not left to get another job, all because of the 6-figure income that I do bring in from Plexus here. So we are co-parenting, we are co-homeschooling. I've been able to build something here and still work because I like putting my hands to something. I like keeping busy. So I like having the mom role, but I love having the Plexus role as well, and being a business owner and serving others and helping others. And so I love that. I love the community here, which is something I never thought I would say. When I started Plexus 4.5 years ago, I didn't need people. I didn't want to deal with people. I'm just going to be honest. And God has really changed my heart over the years. But what I found is a community that is unlike anything out there. I didn't know there was positive women. I didn't know there was drama-free women. I didn't know there was women of integrity who actually cheered on other women and built them up and wanted them to really step into their potential and live out of their strengths. I didn't know that was a thing. But it truly is here. And the more that you guys get to experience the community, I just know that you're going to love it as much as I do. And so, when I say Plexus has changed our lives, I truly mean it has changed every aspect of our lives and has changed everything about me as well. And my favorite part is that I'm going to be able to leave a legacy for my children, for my children's children, for the generations to come. And that, you guys, is true freedom. So as we wrap up here, you guys, the life change that April and I talked about tonight, this is at your fingertips too. Your story will look probably totally different than ours because your own unique story is still being written. But I want you to know, you do not have to accept your life for what it is if you're not happy with it. If you look ahead 5 years and you're not completely happy with how it's going to look, if it's the same as today, you have the power to change. So, you don't have to be okay with your poor health or your lack of time freedom or your lack of time with your kids or not being able to be that yes mom or to up and travel when you want to see the beauty of this world. You don't have to live paycheck to paycheck and barely feel like you're getting by. Or you don't have to feel like you're just stuck wondering, what if there is more? Well, there is more for you guys. You do not have to keep living for the things that are holding you back. I really want you to think about that phrase. You do not have to keep living for the things that are holding you back, because there is more. So it really is time to say yes to the best for you and your family. Don't let fear hold you back. 95% of people will never achieve their goals because they let fear hold them back. They were not willing to get out of their comfort zone. Then they weren't able to accomplish the things they really wanted in this life. So let's be the 5%. I encourage you to dream big. Don't play small because we only have one life to live. And I'm going to really encourage you to think about taking that next step here, whatever that looks like for you. You are not here tonight by coincidence. Whoever invited you cares about you. Whoever invited you sees great things for you. They see potential in you. They want your life to change as much as our lives have changed. So take time to connect with them after this call. We're here to answer any questions for you that we can. Thank you for joining us tonight. We appreciate your time here. I know it's a busy night. Thanks for giving us part of your brain space. And really, this is just the beginning. If you are willing to open that door to this opportunity, you will find that this is just the beginning for you. And we cannot wait to see the great things that are coming for you. Hope you all have a great night.